if you will allow yourself to use the information that I throw out today, look forward and avoid some of the potholes that you're just going to fall into in life if you don't pay attention, based upon the experience that I offer today, or some of the experience or some of the information I offer today, you can stay out of those potholes. You can stay on the middle of the road, and you don't have to hit those big nasty bumps that a lot of people hit. So the perspective that I'm going to give you is going to be far different than your 22 or 25 or 23 years has had the ability to comprehend. But guys, just listen to me. I'm not here, I'm here because Justin is a friend. I'm here because I want to see young people like yourself prosper and do as well as you possibly can. I'm a kid that when I was 11 years old, my teacher asked me what I wanted to do, and I said play pro football. Now, if you think I'm small now, you should have seen me when I was in 6th grade. I was about that big, maybe that big. But you know what? The whole wide world, if you put me in front of them and say, he's going to play pro football one day, they would have all laughed and said it wasn't going to happen. The only person that knew it was going to happen or believed it was going to happen was myself. So I want to tell you a little bit about me, not in terms of bragging, but just to let you know where I'm coming from so you can get a little bit of insight as to how I see things. When coming out of high school, there was only one college that thought I was good enough to play football. Now, I was good enough to play in the NFL for 5 years, but there was only one college that thought I was good enough to play in college. Division III college, Randolph-Macon, right up the road. Or right down the road. Right down the road, down in Ashland. So they said, yes, you can come here and play football. Great. I was the only black kid there at that point in time. Only black kid on campus, but they were going to let me play football. I didn't really care. That's insignificant. I had a place to go play football. Played there for 2 years. My freshman year, I led the nation in rushing and scoring in Division III. Okay? We had a great football team. A great football team. I was a running back. We had a great offensive line. They got holes. I got yards. I made touchdowns. Okay? My second year, I was little All-American. The coach that recruited me to Randolph-Macon College had gone on to Louisville. My third year there, I was able to transfer from Randolph-Macon College, Division III, to the University of Louisville, Division I. I sat out a year, and then I played. My senior year, I had almost 1,500 yards rushing in 10 games. I scored, I don't know, my whole college career in 38 games, in 38 football games, 18 at Randolph-Macon and 20 at Louisville. I rushed for 5,397 yards. I scored 69 touchdowns. And I tell you that simply because I believe that when you get a chance in life, you got to make it the chance of a lifetime. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got to make it happen. Period. There's a lot of mitigating circumstances. My coach at Randolph-Macon doesn't play freshmen. He didn't want me to play. He doesn't think freshmen could get the job done. And my coach who recruited me convinced him to let me play. My first game at Millersville State, Pennsylvania, Division III, I touched the ball. The first 3 times I touched the football, I fumbled. He gave it to me out of the backfield, I fumbled. He gave it to me again out of the backfield, I fumbled. I don't know whether I was nervous, which is not like me, but I fumbled the 3rd time. And the head coach, who doesn't want to play freshmen, is looking at me like, I said, don't worry about it, Coach. I take care of this. I ended up scoring 3 touchdowns and having like 160 yards rushing because I didn't want to miss my chance. Guys, you're going to have a chance. Might be a little teeny chance, or it might be a big chance. I mean, I don't know where you guys, I'll get more information on your backgrounds and everything, and I'll watch what happens, but you're going to get a chance. And that's all you're looking for in life, is you're looking to get a chance. A chance. And when you get a chance, you make it the chance of a lifetime, which is what I did. So I made All-American my senior year at the University of Louisville. Had 8 guys off of that football team play professional football. Some of you guys will know one of my good teammates, Tom Jackson, that you see on television all the time. He'll give me a shout out every once in a while. Tom and I are great friends. He was on that football team. A guy named Richard Bishop, who played for New England. A guy named Marty Smith, who played for Buffalo. A guy named Amos Martin, who played for Minnesota. Horace Jones, who played for Oakland. Larry Ball, who played for Miami. And, you know, a couple other guys. So I've always been around and with good football teams, which made me a better football player. But what I always wanted to do was make sure that I did my job. From age 11, I made the decision that all the things I was going to do was going to support me playing pro football. Never drank. I haven't consumed 15 ounces of alcohol in my life. I've had a few screwdrivers in my life. You know, a little vodka and orange juice. Because I wanted to just like be a nice guy and fit in. And I said, I don't like this crap, so I'm not going to do it anymore. Guys go, let me buy you a drink. I don't need a drink. Come on, man, let me buy you a drink. Let me. I don't want a drink. I don't need a drink. Let me buy you a drink. You ask me to buy a drink again, I'm going to knock you in your head. I don't want a drink. You go drink, I'm going to take care of me. Didn't want a drink. Not because I was a good guy or goody two-shoes. It wouldn't help me be the best football player I could be. It would not help me be the best football player that I could be. Never touched a drug, never touched an illegal drug. During the period of time that I was in college, 1968 to 1973, that was the height of drug stuff. Height of drugs. I would go to poker games. I'm not proud of that. Yeah, I am. I love playing poker. Go to poker games. We'd sit and we'd be playing poker and we'd be playing for an hour or two. Somebody would break out some weed. Say, I'm done, guys. No, you don't have to leave, Howard. I know you're not going to... Listen. I'm done. If we came to play poker, we play poker. You came to smoke weed, you smoke weed. I don't want somebody walking in this room, looking at the room and not asking any questions and thinking that I'm a part of that crap. I don't want it. I don't need it. When you want to play poker, I'm gone. Now, I didn't care what they did. I'm only responsible for me. I didn't want a NFL scout looking at me, say the kid's 2 feet tall, he's got really good ability, he can run a football, but you know what? He's messed with weed, or he's messed with this, or he's done with... I didn't want that X in the box, so I extracted myself from that. Didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do drugs, didn't hang out with the kids who did. Say, well, you never had any fun, did you? I have more fun than probably most people in the whole wide world, because I create my own fun. I wake up, I take inventory of my life. Every morning, kind of take inventory of my life. If I'm out of town, first thing I do is I call my wife. Find out how she's doing. I ask her, how you doing, babe? She's doing good? That's first thing. Kids are doing good? My grandkids are doing good? I take inventory of life. Then I can start my day. I'm happy at that point in time. All the other stuff, if I get a flat tire, if I get in an accident, I'm not hurt. The bank account is not as big as it needs to be. That's my fault. Look, I don't care. The things that are important to me in life, my wife, my kids, and my grandkids, my friends are okay. My mom is doing okay. My brothers and sisters okay. I don't really care what's going on in the world. I can deal with everything from that point. Does that make sense? Folks, the only thing we really control is our actions and our attitude. When I was at Randolph-Macon College, scoring touchdowns and getting yards, Division III, there was a guy down the road coaching the Richmond Roadrunners, which was a semi-pro team. You know, you pay guys $50 a game to play football. A semi-pro team. His name was J.D. Roberts. And he used to see my name in the newspaper every Sunday. I was at Ashland, Virginia, 13 miles down the road. J.D. Roberts, he would read on Sundays. Howard Stevens had 160 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, blah, 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 blah. Well, 5 years later, after I'm graduating from the University of Louisville, he's the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Really? Now, guys, how many rounds are there in the draft now? 7. There were 17 rounds when I was drafted. Anybody know where I might have been drafted? Now keep in mind, I rushed for 5,397 yards. I carried the ball almost 900 times in 38 games. I ran back punts, I ran back kicks, I caught passes. I was a first team All-American in some areas. I had a few votes for the Heisman Trophy. So what round do you think I was drafted in out of the 17? What do you think? What round do you think I was drafted in?
You said the 16th.
Yeah,
16th.
I let you in on it. Yeah, 16th round. I was 392nd player taken. Now, I tell you what, I was a little disappointed. First day, I didn't think I'd get drafted in the first round. But my mind is, if you can do a job, it really doesn't matter what size you are. I was running the football like the rest of these guys. I was getting yards and touchdowns and everything. First day came and went. I didn't get drafted. Early part of the second day came. I'm getting ready to go play in an intramural basketball game. Yeah, it's about 6 o'clock at night on the second day of the draft. No one had drafted me. And so the Atlanta Falcons called my phone, and I answered the phone and said, "This is Atlanta Falcons. Have you signed in Canada?" I said, "Nope, I haven't signed in Canada. I'd like to play in the National Football League." They said, "Well, we're getting ready to pick, and if you're still there when we come up, we're going to pick you." I said, "Great. How long is this going to take?" Because I'm ticked. I'm like upset. I'm like, okay. And they go, "Well, New Orleans just drafted you." I said, "Thanks a lot." Hung up the phone, went and played the intramural game, came back. Now, I tell you that for this. J.D. Roberts drafted me because he knew my name. He heard my name 5 years ago. He saw me scoring touchdowns. He was in New Orleans. I went to New Orleans, played, I went down there. We were in training camp. We go out to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, keep in mind, there was a 3rd round draft choice, a 5th round draft choice, and an 8th round draft choice who were all running backs, and a 16th round draft choice who was me. So we go out to Kansas City. They wanted to give the job to the 3rd round draft choice. His name was Pete Van Valkenburg from Brigham Young. He's about 6'2", weighed about 200. He was a good running back. So we go out to play the Kansas City Chiefs the year before they were the Super Bowl champions. They had people, and you guys, historically, these are Hall of Fame people. Jim Lynch, Bobby Bell, Bob Buchanan, Fred the Hammer Williamson. They were a championship team. Willie Lanier. Okay, so we go out there to play them, and we're out there, big stadium. You know, I'm a kid from Harrisonburg, Virginia. There's only about 800 people in the whole town, and we're out in the Kansas City Stadium, Arrowhead Stadium. Man, we're big time now. So they want to give Pete the ball. Coach Roberts told me, he said, "Howard, all I want you to do is run back punts and kicks tonight." I said, "Great, I'm going to get a chance to do something. I'm going to run back punts and kicks." So they give the ball to Pete, and Pete kind of tiptoes up into the line. You know how running backs don't just like hit it? They kind of go, no. And that's what Pete did. And they gave it to him again, and he kind of tiptoed up into the line. And Coach Roberts looked at me and said, "Howard, I want you to play the rest of the game." Now, this is the middle of the first quarter. I wasn't prepared to play as a running back mentally until he said, "I want you to play the rest of the game." I carried the ball that night against the Kansas City Chiefs, the world champions, 10 times for 62 yards. I made the team that night, guys, because he gave me a chance, and I cashed. I saw what Pete didn't do, and I wasn't going to be the guy to do what he did. So I carried the ball 10 times for 62 yards, 6-yard average. Not bad. Ran back punts, ran back kicks, made the team that night. 2 weeks later, J.D. Roberts got fired. Think about that. What if I didn't get to play in that game? See, when you sell out, when you are all in, when you're paying the ultimate price, people, circumstances, and events line up to help you realize your goals and dreams. But see, you got to pay the ultimate price. You got to be willing to do all the things you don't want to do. You got to be willing to make the decisions that you don't want to make. You can't just say, "I'm going to do this," and get away with it. Guys, you got to walk a line that is so narrow that other guys aren't willing to walk it, and that's your edge. That's your edge. I don't know what your edge is going to be for you personally, but you got to figure out your edge, and you got to make sure that you're not crossing that line.